It is hard to believe, but this week we celebrate the 25th anniversary of the passage of federal legislation that bans smoking on airplanes. When you tell young people today that there was a time when people got on an airplane and sat in smoking and non-smoking sections, they laugh out loud. But many of us can remember that, or remember the awful experiences we went through. People who are flight attendants remember it better than others because their health was at risk. In fact, their lives were at risk. I introduced the amendment in the House of Representatives. It was the first bill to pass that banned smoking on airplanes of flights of 2 hours or less. In a year or two, we expanded it to all flights. I was told I didn't have a chance. The tobacco lobby was just too strong. But I decided to test it, and with the support of a number of my colleagues, got it to a vote on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives. The galleries were filled for what was considered to be just a minor amendment. They were filled by flight attendants in uniform who were there in support of what we were doing, as well as many public health advocates. And then the vote was taken. And to the surprise of everyone, it passed. The amendment passed by a very close margin. And it was a surprise because it was opposed by the leadership of both political parties, Democrats and Republicans. The tobacco lobby had their friends in high places. But what they overlooked was the fact that the members of Congress are the largest frequent flyer club in America, and they were sick and tired of it, and they wanted some changes. Well, good things happen. As I mentioned to the flight attendants, I'm not taking special credit for this, but it was a tipping point. When the federal government banned smoking on airplanes, people started asking basic questions. If secondhand smoke isn't good for you on an airplane, why is it good for you on a train, or a bus, or an office, or a hospital, or a restaurant, or a tavern? Fill in the blank. If someone walked through those doors today smoking a cigarette, you would think, what are they thinking? We don't do that anymore. But there was a time when that was commonplace, and there were places to put out your cigarettes all over this terminal and all over our offices and all over the United States. I want to thank the Heart Association, Lung Cancer, and so many more that should be noted here, who stepped up and kept this battle going when many people believed we didn't have a chance. Well, we did, and the American people supported us. Now, the battle's not finished. We've seen a decline in smoking by adults and the use of tobacco products, but we're not out of the woods. For example, just a few years ago, in a one-year period of time, we saw the number of young people using e-cigarettes double in America. They're being marketed to these children, and they're buying them. And sadly, we can't get the FDA to move or move quickly enough to regulate it. Second, when it comes to smokeless tobacco, we shouldn't overlook the fact that it's still wildly popular among young people in America, and it's a danger, a public health danger. But this is an indication that when our government steps in with a policy, a public health policy that makes sense and has good support, it can make a difference in the lives of a lot of people.